Welcome to the October 2025 open meeting of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. FERC's mission is to assist consumers in obtaining reliable, safe, secure, and economically efficient energy services at a reasonable cost through appropriate regulatory and market means and collaborative efforts. The purpose of the open meeting is for the Commission to consider the matters that have been duly posted in accordance with the Government in the Sunshine Act. Members of the public are invited to observe, which includes attending, listening, and taking notes, but does not include participating in the meeting or addressing the Commission. Actions that purposely interfere or attempt to interfere with the commencement or conducting of the meeting or inhibit the audience's ability to observe or listen to the meeting are not permitted. This includes attempts by audience members to address the Commission while the meeting is in progress. Any persons engaged in such behavior will be asked to leave the building. Anyone who refuses to leave voluntarily will be escorted from the building. Additionally, documents presented to the chairman, commissioners, or staff during the meeting will not become part of the official record of any commission proceeding, nor will they require further action by the commission. If you wish to comment on an ongoing proceeding before the commission, please visit our website for more information. Also, representatives from FERC's Office of Public Participation are located just outside of the Commission meeting room to answer questions and assist the public with submission inquiries. Thank you for your cooperation.
Good morning, Madam Secretary. We are ready to begin.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. This is the time and place that has been noticed for the open meeting of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to consider the matters that have been duly posted by the Commission. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioners, since the September 18, 2025 open meeting, the Commission has issued 58 notational orders. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, and good morning, everyone here in the room and to my colleagues. We have another full agenda today. We have 17 unanimous orders, and I just want to thank the Commission staff for their hard work to get us there, not just today, but the 58 orders we did this month, and especially to my colleagues, Commissioner Chang, Commissioner C, for the hard work that we've been doing together. I'd also like to congratulate Commissioner Sweat and Commissioner Lacerte on their successful Senate confirmation. Commissioner Lacerte is here with us in the room today. Welcome. I really look forward to you joining soon. I always tell people, in life there are a few things that really, if you can get through this thing, you can kind of do anything. One of those things I think is a Senate confirmation. The other thing I think is flying cross country with a child under 2. And I think both of the new colleagues tell me they've done both. It'll come, I think, as no surprise that once you're confirmed, the next step in Washington is more paperwork. And so I'm excited for yours to get signed by President Trump and for you to join us up here soon. So on the agenda today, I'm really proud to continue the clearing out of our backlog of long pending proceedings. We've got a couple, E2, E3, E11, and H1. Each of these things have been at FERC in one way or another for years. And so I'm really glad to keep moving that along. And I'm also really proud to move forward on item E1, which is the New York ISO's second round of Order 2023 compliance. This is another piece of solving the interconnection delay problem, and I'm happy again to vote that out. This month, we also closed out 6 other second-round Order 2023 compliance filings. And for everybody who's keeping score at home, like I am, our total to date, we've now completed 25 out of 41 transmission provider compliance filings, so that they're complete. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the fruits of all that labor as we get the queue delays down. Looking ahead for a moment, I'm very optimistic that the Commission will be ready to act later this year on our work on co-location. Commissioner C and Chang and I have been working diligently on that, and I'm really happy with the progress we've been making. I also hope that the Commission will be ready to initiate next steps on the rulemaking side to create blanket permitting programs for both LNG and hydropower projects. We've all talked about this a little bit in our own way, but thank you, Commissioner C, for elevating the LNG blankets. Thank you, Commissioner Chang, for doing the first-person tour of Alaska and bringing back the importance of streamlining hydropower where we can. So, I would just say that we've been working hard to get these important orders ready. And I also am excited to have them considered and get input from our new colleagues as well. Those are my remarks this morning, and I would like to turn to Commissioner C for your remarks.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our October meeting. I would also like to extend a really warm welcome to our incoming colleagues, Laura Sweat and David Lacerte. Congratulations on making it through the confirmation process. We want to officially welcome you to FERC and look forward to joining us officially very soon once all the paperwork is signed. From the conversations already, I've really enjoyed getting to talk with you and getting a sense of your drive and your focus for the urgency of the issues in front of us. I think we all work best when we have a full complement of 5 with those different perspectives and more people to help shoulder the load. And I'm really looking forward to a great working dynamic as we fill out this table again very soon. I'd like to make a couple of comments, kind of continuing a tradition I've mentioned many times. I'm very focused on the number that Madam Secretary you give us of the good work that happens between meetings, and really grateful to the teams who make all of that work happen day in and day out. I'd just like to highlight a couple of the items that we were able to vote out, again, unanimously since our last meeting. One of them is a recent order that takes dozens of unneeded and duplicative rules out of the Code of Federal Regulations. My approach to regulation is that new rules have to be worth their weight when it comes to often significant time and costs from compliance. It's not enough for us just to be able to say we did something if that something doesn't have a cost-benefit analysis that leads to significant value in the real world. And I think that approach should extend to our current regulations as well. If old rules aren't living up to that value proposition, then they shouldn't stay on the book either. So I think it's important for us to take a periodic review, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do that well and with the teams who helped us work through that process. I'd also like to highlight a final rule that we issued in our 871 proceeding, which removed a default waiting period after we issue certificate orders under the National Gas Act. Certificates there can often take significant time as we gather and analyze the information that we're required to under statute as we do our work in the public interest. And I may be biased here at FERC, but I think we're the best in the business when it comes to that sort of review, and I stand behind the important and detailed analysis there. But when that process is over and a majority of the Commission votes, that certificate should mean something and should be able to lead to real-world action. Our old process had a one-size-fits-all delay approach that could approach a half a year before activities could take place under that order. And in the real world, that sometimes has limited construction windows when it comes to seasons or environmental limits or other factors. That delay could often be a year or more. So I think our unanimous final rule preserves the appropriate balance because there are appropriate avenues to seek stays or injunctive relief as appropriate in a case-specific manner, but it removes the arbitrary additional waiting period for everything that we issue. And so I think it's a common sense measure to responsibly speed needed infrastructure approvals, and I'm optimistic that the Commission will continue to look for smart measures like these as we move forward. So moving to today's matters, many of them, we don't talk about them in detail, as a matter of time, but they reflect our really important bread and butter work too, working through complaints, tax and accounting matters, market power assessments, settlements, and waivers. And thank you very much to the teams who worked on all of them and for their detailed and expert technical advice as we're able to vote them out. So just two I'd like to make brief comments on, and then I will pass the mic back, is E3 involving the Grain Belt Express transmission line. I want to acknowledge that I know that line has significant concerns and questions that have surrounded that project over the years, and it's faced a number of changing circumstances in recent months. But today's order is about a specific gap in MISO's tariff, about whether and how the RTO considers merchant transmission projects when considering the relative costs and benefits of projects in its transmission plans. And I agreed with my colleagues that's a gap that needs to be closed. And I have a short separate statement that talks in more detail about closing that gap well, can provide needed information and transparency into the planning process to ultimately give ratepayers better value when it comes to billions of dollars in improved transmission projects. So I look forward to MISO's attention to that matter as we send it back to them. And then lastly, I'd like to mention briefly C3, which grants a blanket certificate to Rover Pipeline LLC. Our blanket certificate process, when used well, it yields significant benefits by removing the need for time-intensive case-specific reviews in cases that are unlikely to have significant environmental or other concerns. Over the past 7 years, this applicant has had at least 7 projects that would have been covered by that blanket process if it had the certificate that we're issuing today. But because it didn't, it needed us and them to spend significant time on those individual reviews. But we have the benefit of real-world experience to know that all of those projects proceeded without incident or landowner complaints, which makes me confident Rover has satisfied the standards to use that streamlined process on similar projects going forward. Now, that said, and as the order makes clear, it doesn't delve into the merits of a separate enforcement matter involving the same party that does remain open from incidents the better part of a decade ago. Today's order is clear that granting the certificate doesn't either close or prejudge that matter, and I sincerely hope that my colleagues and I will be able to bring that matter to a close soon. But in the meantime, when it comes to today's order, I'm also hopeful that Rover will be able to leave the past in the past and continue in the manner we've seen over the past several years that give us basis for the order. So that's all I have on the docket today, and I'll pass it back.
Thank you, Commissioner C. Commissioner Chang?
Good morning, everyone. I also want to extend my welcome and congratulations to our new colleagues, and thank you for being here today. I just want to say the first few weeks is extremely exciting, but probably also very demanding, and we stand here to help you, acclimate and find where the bathrooms are in the hallways and things like that. So, we're very excited to have a complement of 5 again at this table, and I'm very much looking forward to working with you and Commissioner Sweat. Thank you very much for being here. I also want to acknowledge one of my first advisors, Emily Beard. I don't think she's in the room, but she is leaving the commission, and I just want to thank her for her welcome when I first stepped into the commission on my first day and trying to find my way around, and she was so welcoming. So I know that Emily will be missed. She's just been leading significant amount of work here at the commission, and I'm just wish her well in her next endeavor. Following that, I want to acknowledge that and congratulate really California ISO and the EDAM stakeholders on the signing of the pathway legislation in California over, a couple of weeks ago. And this legislation in California cleared the way to establish a new regional organization to advance the development of the EDAM, or a enhanced day-ahead market in the West. I was able to attend a CREPC meeting in Portland a couple weeks ago, and I really very much valued my discussions with state commissioners and all the represented entities across the West. There's significant excitement as the West develop its own markets, and I'm very glad to hear from various varied groups about setting up the foundations needed to work across multiple market structure across the West. I of course, continue to recognize that the seams present significant challenges across markets. So I continue to encourage parties to Markets Plus and EDAM and RTO West that they will continue to work together to anticipate the potential challenges with having seams across the West. So I'm dedicated and focused on this issue, and I want to see these markets work over the long term. So I'm very focused on sort of working with the stakeholders and providing a listening ear, if nothing else, to kind of understand what's going on across the various different market evolution. On the meeting today, I want to note my statement with G1, the NOPR that proposes 3 NASB standards relating to gas and electric coordination. As I had come from New England, gas and electric issues were front of everything, really, especially as we head into the winters. So I want to reemphasize the importance of this topic and really give credit to NASB and the stakeholders to propose and to respond to the critical findings from the NERC and FERC reports on the winter storm Uri and Elliott. The NOPR proposes to approve these new standards as a step on the way to improve gas and electric coordination. But there's still more work to do. The electric system is facing challenging conditions and tightening reserve margins, and of course, it's tied to the supply of natural gas to the generators that we rely on in the winters. So I want to encourage particularly commenters, and that's why I wrote separately, to include thoughts regarding information sharing along the chain of entities that physically control or have financial rights to natural gas deliveries, starting from the wellhead and ending at the generators or the gas LDCs or local distribution companies. I anticipate that we need additional work on this type of information sharing to ensure that our system operators have better situational awareness, which could inform when they declare emergency operations on the power system. It could also inform their dispatching of certain long lead time resources to compensate for any anticipated gas issues on the gas system. So these topics are all teed up for comments in the NOPR, and I look forward to reading I definitely encourage stakeholders to provide your input into this NOPR and provide ideas for what other additional work the Commission should focus on going forward to improve the gas and electric coordination issue. So with that, I hand it back to you.
Thank you, Commissioner Chang. I think we are now ready to turn to the voting.
Since the issuance of the Sunshine Act notice on October 9, 2025, no items have been stricken from this morning's agenda. Your consent agenda for this morning is as follows. Electric items E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, E8, E9, E10, and E11. Gas items G1 and G2. Hydro item H1. Certificate items C1, C2, and C3. As to E3, Commissioner C is concurring with a separate statement. As to G1, Commissioner Chang is concurring with a separate statement. We will now take a vote on this morning's consent agenda. The vote begins with Commissioner Chang.
Noting my concurrence on G1, I vote aye.
Commissioner C.
Noting my concurrence in E3, I vote aye.
And Chairman Rosner.
I vote aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes today's items for consideration.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I have a few concluding remarks, and they basically consist of recognizing 2 individuals for their service. The first person is sitting over there, Susie Holmes. She has worked at the Commission for 37 years, the last 21 of them as an Associate General Counsel in the Office of General Counsel Projects Group. Susie has been instrumental in developing and implementing every major natural gas pipeline initiative during her tenure at FERC, including the stalwart 1999 Certificate Policy Statement, which is still integral in our evaluation of project applications today. Susie's helped guide the Commission through pivotal times like the early 2000s during the LNG import boom, the build-out of infrastructure during the shale revolution, and the growth in recent years of LNG export facilities. Some of you may know that Susie's also an avid world traveler, and I hear that you're heading to Australia next. But all of this to say is really that Susie, you're a legend, both inside and outside of the commission. And although it's a great loss to see you go, we all wish you the very best in your well-deserved retirement. And I hope you have many happy travels. So Susie, thank you very much for your service. It's an honor for me to be able to say this to you. And I know you've inspired many generations of new lawyers, both in and outside of government. So to honor your service today, I'm very pleased to award you the Chairman's Exemplar of Public Service Award. This award requires exceptional performance in achieving and contributing to the Commission's vision, mission, and values. And it also requires at least 20 years of service. And so there's literally no higher award that we can give you. And really, I just would like everyone to recognize me and join me in recognizing Susie. So thank you for your service. Yes. So we're going to go around to recognize Susie for a moment, and then there's one more that I have. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to say, Susie, you've been so wonderful, and I want everyone to know Susie's also one of those first people that welcomed me to the commission by really patiently explaining how things work, particularly in the project space, but also the history of why we do certain things certain ways, and all the legal precedents before us, and how important they are to the work we do. And really, you're not just legendary, you are a friend, and your words weigh a lot with me, and I congratulate you. I hope your travel and my travel could coincide someplace in the world, but I really, I'm very honored to have had this opportunity for a year to work with you, and I very much congratulate you. Thank you.
Susie, I want to echo all of that too. When I joined the commission, a number of people told me, everyone here is fantastic, but there's a few people that when they speak, listen to them and trust them. And you were on that list for a number of people when I started, and that has 100% been true. Thank you so much for the exceptional work that you have done for the commission. I feel like whenever I come to a new place, you look for the people you can learn from, and I think your experience and your talent, you are definitely someone who I have learned from and have just been so privileged and honored to serve with you in this position at the commission. So thank you for the work that you have done over the past decades. It's a real loss for us that you are leaving. Thank you as well that you have put up with the fact that you let me borrow Stacy for the past many months. She was fantastic as well, and I know in some part because of the incredible mentorship that you gave for her as well in the group. So thank you. Congratulations on your retirement. We wish you all the best.
All right. Next, I'd like to recognize another individual who's departing. It's a little bit closer to home. Anne-Marie Hirschberger from my team. After 13 years of commission service, including 3 different commissioners' offices, Lafleur, Glick, and me, you've really served the commission and its mission honorably and expertly. And in between your work on the 11th floor, you've been a highly respected and relied upon legal mind on the MISO team here at the Office of General Counsel. You represented the Commission on a detail to the House Energy and Commerce Committee, not for the faint of heart. You have been very willing to tell me when my ideas are bad, which is the most important advice someone can get. And you've been instrumental in working on the good ideas, not just from me, but from the other commissioners, from the staff, and implementing them in our orders. You've been essential on interconnection and making that process work better, essential on getting transmission planned and built, and I just really admire your work on those topics. And I'm really trying to be mad at you for ditching us, but I'm also really excited about what you're going to accomplish in your next opportunity. I know that whichever RTO filings you might work on in the future, they're going to be perfect, and they're going to get 5 votes and no stakeholder comments. But really, best of luck, and we will miss you dearly. To honor you, Anne Marie, I'm really proud to award you the Chairman's Medal. And this award recognizes the extraordinary achievements of an individual that has promoted the Commission's mission and values. And I think that pretty much sums up what you've been doing here. So please join me in recognizing Anne Marie. Yeah. All right. That's it for me. Colleagues, comments, other things?
Congratulations, and we will miss you. And your steady hand in working across the offices have been noticed, and we will miss you a lot. And good luck.
Same here. Thank you so much for your service. It's been so wonderful working with you. Wish you the best going forward.
All right. That is it. We're adjourned.